The James Webb Space Telescope has detected something drifting through space, something unlike anything seen before. It's not a comet, not a planet, and not a star. It moves with intention, pulses with strange rhythms, and appears to ignore the known laws of physics. Scientists are now saying it might not even come from our universe. Is it alive, engineered, or something entirely outside current understanding? What Webb has uncovered could fundamentally reshape our perception of the cosmos, and this might only be the beginning. This object shouldn't exist. It began as routine. The James Webb Space Telescope was performing a scan across a quiet sector of the sky, an area astronomers often use to test and calibrate instruments. This specific zone, located in the Sculptor Galaxy Group, is known for being stable, uneventful, and perfect for checking equipment accuracy. But during this check, something unexpected occurred. A single shape moved barely across the backdrop. At first, it seemed like visual noise, maybe a stray asteroid. But when the data returned clean, that flicker became the center of attention. This was no ordinary moving body. It matched nothing in any asteroid or satellite registry. Webb's infrared sensors picked up a slow yet consistent drift across the frame. The movement wasn't chaotic, but it wasn't orbital either. It wasn't moving like a comet or a rock. It was deliberate, neither random nor expected. Then it appeared in a second image. And then again, it was real. In astrophysics, you don't expect surprises in calibration fields, said Dr. Lena Ward from the European Space Agency. That's what made this so unsettling. The team ran extensive checks. Could it be a lens flare, a software glitch, a cosmic ray hit? No, the signal came from beyond the instrument, confirmed across multiple sensors and wavelengths. What they had found wasn't a malfunction. It was something entirely new. What made it even more baffling was its appearance. The object had no comet tail, no stellar glow, no structured light like a galaxy. It appeared more like a moving hole, a patch of the sky shifting out of place. But strangest of all, it wasn't just dark. It was surrounded by a faint, twisted halo of light. The space around it warped and bent, as if reacting to its presence, yet the object emitted no visible light, no heat, and didn't produce gravitational lensing consistent with any known type of mass. It wasn't acting like a black hole, a brown dwarf, or any known celestial object. It moved by itself and didn't resemble anything we've ever logged. Not every new discovery fits into a box, said Dr. Nadhu Singh, astrophysicist at Caltech. When things move in space, we usually identify them quickly, but this refused all classification. It had direction, but wasn't following gravitational rules. It absorbed light, but not the way stars or planets do. It had no match in any known database. The more the team investigated, the more they realized this wasn't just unfamiliar, it was incomprehensible. The first step in classifying a cosmic object is examining its light. Everything emits or reflects light in predictable ways: stars, planets, even small asteroids. But this object didn't emit any known light signature. Instead, it consumed the light nearby. Webb's infrared sensors captured a chilling silhouette section of the sky seemingly cut out. Around its edge, a shimmer. Within it, nothing. This wasn't simply dark. It was void like. At first, astronomers considered whether it might be a black hole. But black holes influence their surroundings. They bend light, warp orbits, emit X-rays. This object did none of that. There was no visible mass nearby, no disturbed stars, no signs of gas heating up and falling in. It simply passed through space, silent and untouched. It's the absence of normal behavior that makes it so strange, said Dr. Pavlin, a cosmologist from MIT.Next. They considered a faint or irregular galaxy. But even the weirdest galaxies show structure, arms, bulges, energy emissions, motion. This object had none of those. It had form, but no shape. It was chaotic yet ordered, like machinery stripped of its blueprint. Webb's sensors indicated the object was massive, larger than a comet or asteroid, but it didn't behave like anything formed naturally. Then they observed the light behind it, and that's when things became even more puzzling. The background starlight wasn't bending normally. Instead of curving around the object like with gravitational lensing, light scattered in jagged, fragmented spirals. Almost like a whirlpool made of light, this effect didn't match any known model of gravity. One possible explanation: the object was interacting with the very structure of space, not just with matter or energy, but with the fabric of reality itself. It doesn't act like a thing, said Dr. Tasha Bloom during a scientific briefing. It acts like a process. The Webb team realized this wasn't just a distant anomaly. It was a dynamic force actively distorting light and motion. But things were about to get even stranger. Though it defied the behaviors of objects in our universe, it still moved slowly, precisely. And no one could determine where it was headed next. One of the most bizarre aspects of the object was how it moved. Most celestial bodies follow gravity, planets orbit stars, comets curve through space, moons circle planets. But this anomaly didn't arc or spiral, it moved in a straight, deliberate line. Like it was gliding through space, not falling through it. Webb's data showed the object's speed was low, but steady. It didn't spin, didn't wobble. There were no visible engines, and no gravitational force was influencing its motion. That's not how space works. Nothing just drifts without cause. If something moves without propulsion or gravity, then it's not just moving, it's choosing, said Dr. Alan Reyes, an expert in orbital mechanics. That realization shocked researchers. The object seemed to be selecting a path, not following one. For days, Webb stayed locked onto it. The object's course remained stable. It passed behind stars, gas clouds, even the cosmic microwave background, but didn't interact with them. In any normal way, it cast no shadow, left no trail, no orbital influence. Its motion was inertial, but also seemed intentional, tracing its path backward. Scientists found no point of origin. It didn't come from anywhere, it had simply begun. Even more disturbing, it subtly shifted orientation. As if correcting its course, it wasn't heading toward a black hole or a star. It was just moving calmly, silently through empty space. The object emitted no detectable energy as it traveled. And yet, the space around it rippled, like a submarine, gliding through the ocean, silent but leaving behind waves. That's when we knew, said Dr. MJO, a mission data analyst. This wasn't natural. Things move because they're pushed or pulled. This object moved with neither. It charted its course untouched by the forces around it. That led to the next chilling question: what's inside it? As Webb continued tracking the object, something else appeared around it, not just movement, but a structure. Initially, it appeared as a dark void, but after enhancing infrared images, a faint, flickering outline emerged. It wasn't solid or glowing, but it had formed a web of dim, pulsing strands of light. Artificial in appearance, but without clear symmetry. These threads didn't swirl like gas or stretch like dust. They pulsed in place, growing and shrinking with rhythmic precision, like a heartbeat. This glowing web wasn't a trail. It was attached, like a membrane clinging to the object, not reflecting light, but interacting with it as if the fabric of space itself was being folded. More strange were the light patterns around it. Starlight near the object didn't bend in standard arcs. Instead, it fragmented, spiraling into odd, asymmetric whirlpools that blinked in and out. Webb's models couldn't explain this behavior with any known equations. The only explanation left: the object was manipulating the geometry of space. Even more surprising, space inside the object appeared warped like a lens within a lens. It wasn't just hollow, it was a cavity of twisted spacetime, a shell containing warped reality. A moving shadow casting impossible patterns of light. It's not just absorbing light, said Dr. Helen Yu, it's rewriting how light behaves. Whatever it wasn't a simple void. It was layered in outer shell of flickering light, a central hollow, and edges that bent space itself. Then came the most unexpected finding. The object was sending out signals. At first, Webb's sensors noticed tiny oscillations. 2. The calibration errors. But further analysis revealed consistent pulses minute waves in spacetime itself. These weren't radio waves or gravitational waves. They were something stranger, a ripple, every 11.2 seconds. Then silence, then another. The pattern didn't vary. But the structure of each pulse was unique, carrying information. We realized we weren't just watching it, said Dr. Eric Hobble. We were listening to it. Mathematicians joined the effort. Within days, they discovered that the pulses followed prime number intervals. The wave decay and echo patterns repeated in fractal forms. These weren't noise. They were systems. Not language, not code. Just rhythm and math. Some researchers believed it was natural, perhaps geological or quantum. Others saw intention. A system so precise it hinted at design. Most unsettling of all was what wasn't happening. No heat, no electromagnetic radiation, no standard signature. Only Webb's unique instruments could detect it. It wasn't screaming to be seen. It was quietly pulsing. Is it aware? Scientists began asking. There was no message, but the signals were too exact, too deliberate, not a broadcast, but maybe surveillance.